Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. Good to see you guys on this morning. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Shout out there to James, Ryan, Bridget, Alison, Sean, Nimral, Nathan. Good morning. Brendan. Two Brendans. Luke. Ben. Hey, Ben, when are you coming to Queensland? Did we miss each other? Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Brendan. Hey, Bridget. Good morning to you. Awesome to see all of you guys on. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Wealth Coffee Chats. Hope you're all awesome and well. I'll do a quick, little, what do you call them? Intros. I think my little overlays, actually. Main camera. Let's try that. It's not working. Anyway, used to have a little thing that popped up and said, hey, that's my name. But it doesn't anymore for some reason. Anyway, there you go. I'll just tell you anyway. Won't do the fancy stuff this morning. Jason Witten's my name. If you're new, say g'day in the chat. See if your name's there. Natando, Jimmy, Andrew. Morning, mate. How are you, brother? Good to see you. Christine, good to see you. Sometimes, hey, Sonia. Sometimes if you're in one of the Facebook groups, I can't see who it is. It doesn't pop up. I can see Chris and Simon. You guys might be coming in from the page. The YouTube channels work fine. However, sometimes the groups hide your name for whatever reason. I think it's privacy, but that's perfectly fine. But welcome along. Good to see all of you guys. Like I said before, if you're brand new, Ganjan, good morning to you, Simon. Alexis, hello. Good to see you again, mate. If you're new, Jason Witten's my name. Like I said about 5 times already, I think. And welcome along. Been property investing over 20 years myself. It's probably actually 25 now. All the time it keeps going, the big wheel keeps on turning. And coaching property investors throughout Australia and New Zealand over 18. And along the way, we've learned a few things. And each morning, I have a little coffee. Maybe you're having a coffee too, hopefully. Breakfast, wherever you are. And we have a bit of a chat about what's going on in the marketplace because things can get a bit loose out there with the media, the barbecue investors, the opinions of well-meaning but inexperienced and quite frankly, inaccurate opinionators and observers. So along the way, you and I spend a bit of time each morning just making sense of things. And this morning I wanted to talk about something's going on, which is affecting a lot of people, which is the cost of construction. Chuck it in the chat. Any of you guys building something now? So this is mostly housing. This is mostly houses at the moment. And sadly, a number of reasonably good-sized house builders have been affected by the construction issues and the shortages of labour. But chuck it in the chat. Anyone building? I'm building one right now. I'm building a 6-bedroom house up in Brisbane, and my price has gone up pretty significantly. I've been working with the builder. It's not their problem or fault, and we've worked it out. But let me know. Yep, got a couple building there. Yeah, there's a few main builders, Brendan, unfortunately, in a bit of strife. Lauren is building, just finished Polara. Oh, awesome. Alexis, your timing is perfect, mate. Your timing is perfect. Yeah, Polara. Hey, Polara is a great story, isn't it? What a success story out there. Get the well, yeah, and if you're underway, I think if you're underway and your builder's still communicating with you, well, by and large, your biggest issue is going to be some extension in time. But that's great, Luke. And it's good. See, and the reason I wanted to sort of hear from you guys this morning is, the media like to portray only average news, right? So they don't. So, one of the builders just recently who has gone into liquidation, got a fair few houses under construction, quite a large builder. There's some challenges and some problems out there for those people who are building with that builder. There are things in place there are things in place, insurances and so on, that will, cover most of the challenges. It'll be stressful for people, but there are insurances in place, and thankfully that, that's there. But, the media is not saying things like, hang on, 95% of builders in the country are making it work and getting by and still building their properties. They're not saying that, are they? They're saying, the 5%, which is a very noisy mob, we're going to have some challenges and problems. And very sadly, that is the case. And you guys have been seeing some of that happen of recent times. I'm sure, unless you've been living under a rock, the cost increases of properties and pricing for new real estate at the moment has increased. And that's pretty well in line with some of the costs. Now, depending on where you are, the challenges are more prevalent than other places. So from what we know, and Sam and the acquisition team at Positive have been, doing lots and lots of looking around the country for deals and what's going on. The places right now that seem to have the most pressure. Anyone know where the most pressure is right now from a land point of view, like getting new land? And it's all reasonably good news if you own something. The challenge is getting it built, and if you can get it built, then you're sweet as. Yeah. There you go. Perfect, Luke. That's fantastic. Yep. And it's great to see, Lauren, Luke, experienced, well-balanced thought processes where you're at. You've got a good builder. They're going forward. They're still doing what you need them to do. Sometimes there's reasonable. My building price up in Brisbane went up $56,000. Okay, $56K. And my builder gave me a call and said, "Oh, listen, Jason, I'm literally going to lose money on this one. Can we talk?" And I'm like, "Mate, I don't want you to lose money. I think that's, I don't want that either." And I had the capacity to talk with the builder and come to, a reasonable dollar and cents, right? So 56 grand, I'm going to get what I need. It's going to be about 4 months late. So that's still okay. We've had the wettest first few months of the year, I think, in Queensland in 60 years or something. It's ludicrous. So all the builders are having some challenges with water as well. And, we're getting it done. Now, for you sitting there, you might say, "Oh, crikey, Jason, if my building price went up 50 grand, I can't afford that." And that might be completely fair and understandable, and you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. If that's the case, you need to reach out to your bank, your funder and your financier. Talk to your builder and your funder and your financer and work it out. Like 90% of the time, team, you should give your builder. You should work with your builder to make sure that they at least make a little bit of profit and don't lose money, okay? Because here's the challenge. If you stand your ground, and many of you are contractually well within your rights to stand your ground, what could happen, what often does happen with builders, especially the smaller builders or even the larger builders, what happens as we go through, and let me just do a little, yeah. The price has increased in the last year a few bucks, all right? So we all see that. So let me just scroll in here, and let's have a little look at this. So let's say your builder gave you a price in 2021, and now it's 2022, okay? They gave you a price for 300K, and let's say, they started in 2022, I don't know, 3 to 6 months later, okay? Now, for them to deliver that now, so they were going to make, often builders make a 10 to 15% margin, team, okay? Yep, Sean's saying yours was 6 months over on time. And I think, yep. Oh, that's great, Jonathan. That's great. It's good. See, and this is sometimes the quid pro quo, team. You can go, all right, we absolutely got to protect the builders, Sharon. And, everyone's got to get, an outcome. And looks like for some of them, Sean and Jonathan, the outcome was, and this is what I was sort of saying, let's say they were making a 10% margin here. And let's say now their costs have risen, because this is the builder's costs down here. Let's say that this was their cost line. Let's say now their cost line has risen to pretty well to be equal with their profit, right? So zero profit in here. So they're making zero there, and they're still contractually bound and whatever. And that's part of the risk in business we play. And, if it was, a different time in the world, then, maybe you might stand to get a little bit more. But just right now, just roll with me now. Now they quote, this is your job. This is job number 1. And now job number 2, they quote a job now up here for $350. All right. So they've now got a bit of margin back. They've got some margin back, right? So what happens is, tell me in the chat, if you were a builder running a job and you're saying, all right, well, I've got to honor job number 1. But I've just won job number 2 in the new pricing world. Which job for you guys, let's say you were the builder right now and you were running and you had to pay people on time and pay your bills, which job would you prioritize? Tell me in the chat, which job would you prioritize right now? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, what would you do? Which job would you prioritize in the short term so you could live to fight another day? Which one would you do? All right. Chuck that in the chat for me right now. And again, this is kind of like the harder things, right? Job number 2 has profit and margin. Job number 1 has no profit and margin. And you're dead right. Brendan says job number 2, the one that supports the cash flow, job number 1 last. So what we are seeing, and looks like a few of you guys have experienced it as well, what the number 1 thing that's happening that we're seeing right now is there's delays. And so what happens is if they put this job and this job kind of together, let's say they then delayed this one 6 months, minus 6 months, and then kind of brought them together, they can kind of build the 2 of them and kind of offset the costs and sort of get out of a bind. Yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say here? So time is probably the number 1 thing at the moment that we're going to sort of trade off, okay? Trade off, and you go, be patient with the builder. If you want the price to stay the same, then you might have to give them some more time so they can win a few other jobs that have got a bit more profit and live to fight another day, okay? There you go. For me, I chatted to the builder. My builder, I've been working with him for 15 years. I said, mate, what's it going to take to just crack on and get it done? He said $56,000. I said, done. Thankfully, for me, the value of my property had already gone up 250 grand. So I was okay. That might not be you, and that's perfectly fine. Just think about this, team, as you talk to your builder. It's about time or it's about dollars, okay? The worst thing, the last thing that you want, if you're constructing, is for your builder to go into liquidation or have financial problems, because that you're then dealing with liquidators and other entities that really don't give a rat's ass about you into the future, okay? So this is kind of where we're at right now. The majority of challenges are with builders who have priced jobs 6 to 12 months ago and are partway through jobs from 6 to 12 months ago. So it's probably going to take about 12 months to 18 months to roll through as we go along, okay? And it sounds like for you guys, yeah, that's great. That's great, Luke. And we all know this. That's great. That's awesome to hear, Luke. And I've got the same relationship with my builder. I've used him for years. And we've, at Positive, one of the great things for you guys, if you're in our mentoring and coaching program, the builders we work with, we've used, multiple times, and, we're able to have these conversations with them and with you and for you and get, to the bottom of it and work out something really practical if you ever get some challenges as you go along. So it looks like, yeah, totally. Alison, okay, do the banks, increase it as we go along? Well, they will. They will. Certainly, servicing always comes into play. That's always the Achilles heel in all borrowing contracts. The lenders, all lenders, right now we're chatting. We're looking to build a few townhouses right now up in Brisbane. We've been sitting down with our lender, and for us, we've put in a contingency plan of 10% increase across the whole project, because it's not sort of everything's going up. It's certain things are going up. And a 10% contingency is built into the pricing. It's built into the time. It's built into the borrowing. It's built into the project. And so we've been told now by a number of lenders that they're bumping their contingencies and continuing to fund projects as we go along, right? So right now, one of the biggest challenges we have is there profit in the market? Because there's profit in the market, team. There's great opportunity in the market. If you can get something delivered, I think Alexis said she just finished her stuff in Pollara and then on to Ascot. In Pollara, they're renting off the charts. I think the average price in Pollara has gone from like 500 to 700 in a really short period of time. There's money in them there hills. There's value out there for you as an investor. The challenge is we've got, some workers outflow, some labour shortages around the country as we go along. So, for all of us right now, take a deep breath, be practical, think about, if you were the builder, what would be useful, and find a place in a space. If you've got another project like Luke, if you say, hey mate, I'll look after you on the next project, okay? You look after me now, I'll look after you later. Those are good conversations if you're doing multiple things. Steve got his. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, Steve. Hey, the increase was 43. You tip some in, the builder tips some in. That's perfect. Everyone has a win. So just a bit of a shout out right now. I know this stuff is stressful. It can be terrifying almost, but, get in there, have a good chat with the builder and your construction team. They're just trying to get by too. They want to win. They want to not have problems like you, and away you go. So, yep, dead right, Alison. So, we had a builder on one of our developments with one of our developers go bust, Condev, and thankfully part of the process that we go through is some rigorous due diligence on backup plans and whatever. And it was almost seamless that the customers didn't even notice it. It was 1 week delay, and then the team had someone else on site. So there you go. It doesn't mean that happens every time, but the ability for you as an investor to navigate these things increases when you've got the right team around you and you're getting some support. So anyway, you're dead right, Andrew. You're dead right, mate. Yep. It's a two-way street. You're dead right, Lauren. And it's emotional. It's stressful for everyone. Probably my message today is if you're in those conversations, just think about, exactly, Alexis. Just think about everyone. It's difficult. Nobody's doing this on purpose. It's not like, it's not like the builders set out to cause stress or pressure, and it's not like the buyers, set out to cause stress or pressure. And there's a way through, is what I'm saying. So if you need any help, team, reach out. We do a lot of contract stuff for our clients and our customers, and it doesn't mean it's not stressful, but it can be worked through if we're all sort of trying to make the sense of the whole thing. So anyway, there you go. Thought we'd have that chat this morning. We've got a few little conversations to have over the next little bit. These challenges will wash through. So, and the point is, let me leave you with this as we finish today. The point is, these challenges will adjust and wash through the market. It's probably got another 12 to 18 months to go, not in massive terms, but kind of, on the fringes, washing through, getting out the other side. A lot of projects and a lot of construction is not starting. So that's an opportunity, massive undersupply as we move forward. All right, so there you go. All right, team. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. You guys be awesome. Be well. Tomorrow I'm on an aeroplane, so I won't be doing a Wealth Coffee Chat tomorrow. I won't be doing one tomorrow, so we won't have a chat tomorrow. But on Friday, Wealth Coffee Chat, I'll be down in Sydney. And I'll go live in Sydney as we chat. Actually, I might be able to do the Wealth Coffee Chat tomorrow. I don't think my flight's until 10:30. Anyway, be ready for anything. That's what I say. Cheers, team. You guys be awesome. Have a good day. Join me tomorrow if I go live. 8:10. All right, team. Bye.